Well, hey folks, today's video is full of firsts and experiments. It's the first time that it's in the mid-teens this year, and it's only mid-November. It's cold out there. It's the first time I'm gonna try to experiment and test out these IBC totes for firewood. It's the first time I'm gonna see if my John Deere 755 can lift these totes. And it's the first time to try to start the Eastonmade Axis in the cold and see how it does. There's a lot of things that could potentially go wrong or go great, I don't know. But hopefully you'll stick around to find out.
Dig Drive DIY.
All right, well, you've seen it all over the internet. All the YouTubers that cut firewood seem to have these IBC totes, and I don't want to be left behind. So I've finally gathered up some totes. I didn't want to pay a lot of money for them, and well, now I've got 4 of the smaller size. I've got 2 larger ones, but I'm going to start out with these little ones. I got to break them down so that they'll hold firewood, and then we're going to find out if my tractor can even lift them once they're full. So we're going through lots of wood right now as we're in this recent cold snap. So one way or the other, you got to get wood moved over to the front of the stove. So, all right, I'm going to start breaking these down. So I've got to get these plastic bladders out of here. Then I'm going to cut some bars out so that we can easily access these once they're empty. So this is a Torx bit in this one. So once I get these plastic bladders out, probably reinstall these for some structural, or maybe not, I don't know. I've seen so many guys use these firewood for firewood totes, but I've never really paid that much attention, to be honest. I know that Mike Morgan has shown him breaking down the IBC totes on his channel multiple times. You'd be surprised how many folks that watch my channel say, you should go check out Outdoors with the Morgans. Like, I've never heard of them before. I'm very familiar. And I enjoy their channel too. It's like goals, you know, YouTube goals. Okay. Okay, now to just get these plastic bladders out. Huh. That wasn't too bad. It's a shame to not want these things. Seems like they'd be useful for something. I'm just gonna trash them though. There we go. Okay, in order for these to be a little bit more efficient, I'm gonna cut a window into it, reach in there and stack the firewood more easily. I'm not sure where to cut it. Like I said, I have seen some other YouTubers do this, but I haven't paid that much attention to where the cuts were. I'm just gonna figure it out on my own. I'm gonna start with the bare minimum and add more on. Just gonna use a cutoff wheel on a grinder. You know what? These are good clothes, so I'm gonna change out of this stuff. Ear protection too, hands. That'll work good. I'm gonna soften up these edges. If you notice, I cut these at an angle so that maybe they'd be less likely to snag somebody. Okay, now this is a flap wheel, and these are really nice for polishing and soften things up without taking off a lot of material. All right, those edges are much smoother. Now I'm gonna go through, get the rest of them cut out. Maybe I went too far down. I don't know, maybe I should have left one more in there. It'll hold together. All right, well, this is my wood pile, and there's a lot going on. I've got several different years worth of wood here. The stuff on the back is the oldest. It's the driest. I can see it's cracked clear through. So this is where I'm gonna try to work. I need to buck up a bunch of this first and get a spot established where we can split from. I'm gonna get things kind of ready to go, make a pile, then we'll move in the splitter and the tote and go from there. And I wish you could tell how windy it was. Hopefully the audio is okay, but it is windy and it is cold today, but that's winter for you. Okay, I'm gonna get these pallets out of the way. All right, there's a bunch to get cut up here and moved around. There we go. I'm gonna use my tongs too. These are handy. Some of this stuff is frozen to the ground already. Well, I'm not gonna mess around. I'm just gonna use my MS661C. That way I can tackle anything that's out here. This has been in the shop, so it should be warm. Surprised by that. I haven't had it running in a while. For those of you that don't know, this is the Artillian grapple system. It works with the standard skid steer quick attach plate that I have mounted up on my 755. And this is probably one of the best additions to my firewood process other than a chainsaw. We'll see if the totes could even compare. So I put this custom SSQA bracket on this 755 because obviously that wasn't an option at the time back in the late 80s, early 90s when this tractor came out. But it is the best accessory I've done to this tractor, hands down. That's the quick attach. And the reason I'm hooking this up is because I want to use it to pick up some of those big logs on the back side. And this only takes like literally 2 minutes to connect. All right. Go hold up some logs. All right, I think I got enough bucked up to fill a basket, a tote, a cage, a pallet. So I need an electric saw to put in this holster because this is a little bit too much to lift the 661 up here. Works good all the same. Now I don't have the risk of running over it. I'm gonna go put the forks back on and grab one of the totes and get the splitter. I still don't know if the 755 is even gonna lift these things, but we'll see. Need to get this log table down, and then I'll know how close to get to the concrete. I don't know if I can do this by myself or not. I don't want to make my wife get out here in the cold. All right, here's one of those tests I was talking about. I haven't had this running. Well, my cousin actually used it last. So we're gonna see if it starts. It's about 20 degrees out, and you're watching it for real. 6 pulls. Oh yeah. All right, I need to come up with a mod for this so I can hook it up. I guess. There we go. Oh yeah. That'll work. First tote. Not sure where to set it yet. Oops. This thing isn't going to hold that much wood, really. You know, I get a lot of comments concerning the splitter about how dangerous it is to have your hands up here when this comes down, but you know, as long as your hands and your feet are connected to the same body, it's not much of an issue. I don't think it's an issue because when my hands are up here, it's just like a regular horizontal splitter. You got to get your hands out of the way of a horizontal splitter too. But the other thing that a lot of people say is that they're worried about it popping. They're worried that with the wood so close to your face that it can pop and get you in the face. And I understand that concern too, but see, this is splitting this way. So it's very unlikely it's going to come this direction. And then another person said they would take their hands off of it and run without it. I think that's more dangerous. I think you want to have your hands on the machine so if it does pop, it'll absorb the blow. This is the one thing I wondered about is the game of Tetris here. You either got to cut them all perfect so that they fit in there right, which is never going to happen for me. I'm never going to have them cut all perfect. Unless I get one of those laser guided ones like GP Outdoors has. But for the most part, mine are going to be all different lengths because I get wood from different people. Okay, I think this will be the last bit. All right. I got to interrupt your regularly scheduled programming with a little unfinished business. A fellow YouTuber has challenged me.
They'll get the notification that they've been tagged in a comment.
Doug of One-Eyed Customs. If you know Adam from Hometown Acres, well, this is his neighbor Doug. He's got his own YouTube channel. It's great. You ought to check it out. He's got probably the most organized shop I've ever seen. You talk about shop envy. He set up some firewood rounds and then stacked them with his excavator and timed it. But the idea of the game is to take 5 rounds, and I'm probably cheating a little bit because I have 5 really large rounds. The timer starts when I pick up the first log, and I'm going to stack them up on top, see if I can get it all 5 stacked. We'll see how long it takes me. I'm going to jump in my John Deere 310 SE backhoe. I'll put the timer on the screen and we'll start it as soon as I pick up this first log. Okay, go. So Doug did this in about, I think it was 1 minute or something like that, just over 1 minute. And he has a mini excavator, a Bobcat mini excavator. And he does a lot of projects around the house similar to me. He's got a really nice customized Jeep, and he just does some cool stuff. Like I said, he's got probably one of the nicest shops, and the organization methods that he has are something to be jealous of. Adam of Hometown Acres did a video about his shop, and I think that video is one of his highest performing videos. It's truly amazing, his shop. These are getting tricky this high. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this without dropping some, but oh well, it's all for fun anyway, right? Let's see how we're doing here. And let's see, will that stay up there? Oh, it stayed! I think that's probably a little over a minute, but close enough. All right, Doug, thanks for the challenge. Sorry it took me so long to get back, but hey, we gave her a shot. All right, back to those totes. It really didn't take very long to fill it. Moment of truth is upon us. I really don't know if it's going to do it or not. Looks heavy from here. It looks huge from here. I think it's going to be just to barely get it off the ground. Oh crap. Oh, wrap it up. Got it lifted up. Well, there you have it. I think the totes are going to work. The tractor's going to barely lift them. I don't think I'm going to be able to make them any bigger than that or fill them any fuller than that. I need more counterweight. Now there's one test that remains. Kara threw some leaves in there. Now we're just going to have to see how long it will last. It is currently 5 o'clock on a Saturday night. I don't know, what do you think? It's really cold right now, but we'll see. As far as the IBC tote goes, I think it's going to incorporate well into my system. I can fill them up out there, carry them around. Going to add some counterweight to the tractor, and I might have to turn up the pressure just a little bit more, and then I'm pushing it to the limit. I'm not going to be able to fill them up any fuller than this, but regardless, it's a work in progress. I want to thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope that you liked it. If I'm lucky, I'll see you in the next time. No. If I'm lucky, boop, take 3. If I'm lucky, I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Well, I put the last of that wood in there last night, and it lasted through the night. It's now 6:15, so rather than saying the number of days, how many hours do you think this lasted? Comment below your guess. I'll pick 5 people that are either close or right on and send them stickers. It's been really cold. That's your only hint. All right, now I got to dig out of here. See ya.